I think most everyone has probably heard the story of Lazarus. In John chapter 11, Mary and Martha have a brother named Lazarus, and he's sick. They ask Jesus to come pray because they know if Jesus lays hands on him, he's going to be made well. This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. But Lazarus died. Don't you know that Jesus knows what he's doing? He did not lie because he knows who he is and the power that he has, but do we know? Jesus knows that some people have to see to believe. He could have healed Lazarus. He could have gone, but he stayed back and he waited. Don't you love when you have to wait on God? It's so fun. Said no one ever. Waiting is not my favorite thing to do. He waited, and Lazarus died. And I am glad. Jesus, why are you glad that this happened? That these people, I mean, they're supposed to be your friends, and you let them go through something like this? But it was for the others who did not believe. He wanted them to believe, because Jesus knows that some people have to see to believe. I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. He shows up, and Martha said, Lord, if you'd only been here, where were you at? You ever feel like God is late? God's not late. He knows what he's doing. God has a plan. His ways are perfect. We don't always understand. We don't always understand what God is doing. He wants all to come to the knowledge, the saving grace that is faith in Jesus. He wants all to be saved. Not everyone will. Not everyone chooses the Lord. Martha said unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Jesus saith unto her, thy brother shall rise again. Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Like, Lord, when you come back, we know everyone's going to rise. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believeth thou this? She said, I believe. Mary saw him. She fell down at his feet. Lord, if you'd only been here, why did you wait so long? Why did you let him die? Verse 35. Jesus wept. He had compassion. The word says to weep with those who weep, rejoice with those who rejoice. Jesus is the word. So yes, he's going to obey what it says too. He had compassion. Then said the Jews, behold how he loved him. To be loved by the master. Came to the place where he was laid. He said, take the stone away. I said, Lord, he doesn't smell very good. He's been in there 4 days. Jesus said unto her, said I not unto thee that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. And I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. He said with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. Why do you have to call his name? Because he would have just said, come forth. All the people that were buried there would have come forth, because Jesus is power. Loose him and let him go. Death has no hold on believers in Jesus. Then many of the Jews that were there believed when they saw. Skip over a few pages. In John chapter 20, Jesus had been crucified. He was dead, and then he rose back up, and then he appeared to his disciples. Thomas said, I don't believe it. Show me your side. Show me your hands. Jesus said, Thomas, because you have seen me, you believe. Blessed are those that have not seen and they believe. When you come to God, you got to come to him by faith. Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. To believe and not to see. You're blessed. It takes a lot of faith to believe something that you can't see. Can't see the wind, but you can see what it does. The evidence of God is all around us. Every time you take a breath, you're speaking his name, Yahweh. If you can't quite wrap your mind around God, around the idea that there is a God, ask him to give you wisdom and understanding, and to shine the light of his Holy Spirit into your mind that you may believe. I hope that I helped someone today to come to God before it's too late. Those dead things in your life, he can bring them back to life. Lazarus is not dead. He's just sleeping. Y'all be blessed.